We have to be honest. I did not block it yet. Hi and welcome to episode number 6 of Unico's knitting podcast. My name is Kosha and I'm a knitter and indie dyer. You can find me on Instagram as Uniko Knits and Uniko Yarns. I live on Bornholm, a beautiful and right now cold island in the middle of the Baltic Sea. And this is my little space on the big web where I share with you my journey. So please grab your favorite cup, something to work on, and let's dive into my colorful universe. Today is the 19th of February and I am back after a little break I took because of the life. And I am gonna talk about it a bit later after showing you all these wonderful knits I was working on at that time. I am aware that not everyone wants to hear the general blah blah blah, and that is totally fine. So that's what I'm gonna talk about it later. I am so delighted to be back to chat with you, and hello to every returning viewer. I'm so glad you're here and I hope you're well. And welcome to every new viewers. I hope you will enjoy this episode. I have some general admin stuff. The first of it is that I am running a knit along on Instagram with a hashtag colorwork_Uniko_KL, which is a place that you can post the pictures of the projects you are working on or the finished objects with a colorwork, which can be both like small or big projects or like very easy colorwork pattern or very simple or very complicated checkered colorwork. All of those are welcome, and this is the place where we can inspire each other, where we can connect in the community of colorwork knitters. I am myself kind of new to colorwork. I have knitted 3 colorworks before, and I think it's a great way to stay motivated and inspired. And I love all the photos you put there. I love the color choices you have and the variety of projects, and it's so wonderful. So if you want to look at them, you can put it on the search with the hashtag, or I'm gonna also to put some pictures of your projects at the end of the episode. There are some prices, but I'm gonna talk about it a bit later in the acquisition section, I think, just so we can go forward to some other stuff. So that was the first admin. And the second admin stuff is that last episode I said that I was so glad that this little knitting community is growing, and we have already 1,500 of subscribers, which is mind-blowing. And I wanted to share a bit of the happiness, and I decided that I'm gonna make a giveaway that you can join if you want to. And I showed you last time, I showed you what the prices were, and I can show you just very fast again. So the prices was, there are 2 things, or 3 things. The first thing is a pattern from Inga from a podcast, Knitting Traditions, which is a very, very nice, calm and funny podcast with Inga from Norway. And she donated a cowl, a pattern for the cowl, which is a colorwork, so it is great if you want to also join the KL afterwards. Sorry, Danish words. And then I decided I'm gonna give you some of my yarns because I am dyeing. I'm an indie dyer. with the Uniko yarns, and you could choose between the pink set with the Spring is Coming, or the green set with the Walk in the Forest, or the blue set, which right now it's in this form. And it doesn't matter because I have more of those, so don't worry. So that was the possibilities that you could choose. And I am so happy to say that there was a lot of comments, and I have read them. I haven't been answering to any of those because I thought that I don't want to mess it up. So I thought that if I'm gonna answer to your comments, then I will, when I have to pick the random comment, then it's gonna be hard because half of the comments gonna be mine, and I didn't want to mess it up. Until today, when I was actually choosing the winner of this giveaway, I found out that there is like in the program I used, I can actually put a little box where it does not count the answers. So I've learned something new. But so if you didn't get an answer, it's not because I didn't care. It's just simply because I didn't want to win the prizes. Even it would be nice to have a pattern for the cowl, but still, I didn't want to mess it up. So I used this random winner comment picker, and I am so happy to say that the winner is Margaret de Waard, and I am 100% butchering it, and I'm gonna put on the screen here the screenshot so you can see. And she said there that she would love to win the green set, Walk in the Forest, and this set together with the pattern for the cowl, it's gonna go your direction. So Margaret, please, if you are watching, then contact me, because I cannot contact you here on YouTube. So if you could write to me on Instagram, on Uniko Knits, or if you could write to my webshop mail address, which is a webshop@unikoyarns.com. So if you could contact me, I will be glad to send those prizes to you. And congratulations! Yeah, so that was the admin stuff, and I'm gonna answer some of your comments from the last episode now after this one. And if I'm not gonna answer it with words, then we're just gonna get a heart, because yeah, if it's just a comment where you put the color, then you're just gonna get a little heart from me. And otherwise, if you have some question, I'm gonna respond them. And now we can go to the next segment, which is some knittings. And when we talk about knittings, then there is an elephant in the room. And the elephant, it's me. So I am wearing my Magnolia bloom, which is a lovely, lovely pattern from Camilla, which I was testing for her new design. And I would love to stand up and show you. This is the pattern. As you can see, it's like to the hip length, slightly. It's not oversized. It's just a bit loose, but not oversized. And at least for me, the I don't know. It's not called the bracelet, because bracelet length is here. I actually don't remember what it's called, but it's not like a foot length for me, at least. Maybe because I have quite long arms, I don't know. But it's like this nice length that is actually where I normally push my sweaters to. It's like I'm normally wearing them like this. Unless it's very, very cold, then I'm pushing them down. And I think it's also possible. We have to be honest. I did not block it yet. I have been using this sweater a lot since I knitted it, but I didn't have time to block it because I really like it. So it's a test knit and the pattern is already out. So if you would like to knit this beautiful pattern by yourself, then you can find it on her Ravelry, I think. I'm gonna put the link, as always, in the description box together with all the other stuff I'm gonna mention in this episode. But this is a top-down sweater, and it has this beautiful pattern here with some bubbles, some lace, and this neckline, which is like fold over, I think it's called. And I knitted on 7mm needle size, and I knitted with 2 strands of this yarn, electric blue, and I can actually show you, I don't know if I did it last time, but one of the, if when I made a cake, then one of the strand is going from inside and one from the outside. So I'm holding those 2 together, and then I'm doing the same with the mohair. Boop. So I am holding the outside strand and inside strand, and I was working with all 4 strands together. Someone asked me if this merino, it's a superwash merino, 100%, a fingering wave, if it's growing after wash, and I don't think it is. Maybe it's also because it's connected with the silk mohair, which is holding the structure better. But generally, I didn't notice that this merino is growing after wash. But it's always a good idea to make a swatch and to wash it and dry it. And the way you will wash and dry your sweater afterwards. But yes, and I made the Italian bind off. I think the last time, I didn't wave the hands. So the last time I was showing you, I think I was somewhere on my body, on a body island, and then obviously I made the sleeves, and it is very easy. They were on the hole, so it's my favorite sleeve construction, like all times favorite. It means there is no increases, decreases, and so on for the whole length of the sleeve, and then there is some very rapid decreases just before the ribbing, and the ribbing, which is very nice and long, and then I finish it with the Italian bind off because I think it's very nice. It's like this mix between having it stretchy and the way it holds the form, and I think it's just the prettiest finish right now. That's what I feel right now. I thought I've waved off the ends. Maybe I did. What am I doing there? You know what? I'm quite sure I waved them. So I'm just gonna snip them. Boop. I just have those around. Aren't they beautiful? I bought those scissors in the yarn shop in Svenike in August and Jona. Like back then when the shops were open, because we are on the lockdown right now in Denmark. So only the grocery shops and stuff like that are open. But I love those. I love the sound. Can you hear it? It's so nice because they make like this little, it's like it just at the end there's like this snip. I don't know, it's giving so much satisfaction using those. And it's also like, it's funny because when you're knitting a lot, then like those small things are making so big difference. But it was a totally off topic. So about this this beautiful design, I totally love it. I'm sold, and the thing that is also nice that it's so warm, and I think it fits so good on the body, and I love everything about this sweater. And it's like extreme fast knit, so I knit it in 4 days or 5, something like this. And I was not even like full time on that. It was just, I was still knitting other stuff. And when I finished this one, there was not other option. I knew that I just had to knit one more. So I did it. So this is my second finished object today. And this is a Magnolia bloom from Camilla. And now you can see it in all glory. So this is same pattern, and I cast it on directly after finishing this one because there was no way back. And I knitted in a different yarn. I knitted in the 2 strands of silk mohair, which I don't have anymore because I used it all. I used 3 skeins to make the size small. And I also made the swatch. So yeah, if I had one more ball of this color, then I would perhaps made it a bit longer in the sleeves. But I'm a indie dyer, so of course I don't have enough yarn. But yeah, so I used 3 balls of the silky mohair for this one in the color Sky, and then I used the Merino Deco base in the same colorway. It's colorway Sky. So it's this like very light blue gray with the speckles. I don't know if you can see them. I don't know how good color is responding on the screen, but yeah. And I just love it. I love because I love that, like the speckles, how they show on the sweater. They're very subtle, and I was not variegating the balls of yarns. I was just knitting it straight. I can't see much pulling or anything. But yeah, I just like there's some color play, but I think it's quite repeatable. So yes. For this one, I also made this size small, and I used just a bit more than 3 skeins of merino and silk mohair, but it's because I made quite a big swatch. So I don't know if I would use my swatch, like rip it after checking the gauge, then I would perhaps had enough yarn with the 3 skeins. But now when I have it at home, then I thought like it's fine. I'm gonna use this yarn anyway for something else because I'm quite in love with this color, I must say. And for both sweaters I use 7mm, and it's generally the same. So I use the Italian bind off, and and I'm super, super, super in love with those. So yes, so there is a lot of knitting, but like, I mean, it's gonna be a short episode. Yeah, and then last time I also showed you another test knit I was making. It's a test knit for Sharins with her Konfetti sweater, which is a men knitwear, with this all over color work pattern with this small how it's called, yeah, I don't know what's called. But I can show you. So this is where I am. Oh, this is back. So this is a Konfetti sweater from Sharins. I made it on a 4.5mm needle size with Uniko yarns, and it is a button-up sweater where you start with making the stockinette stitch here, and actually here, and then you need some rounds of that and 1 round of the purl, and then again the stockinette stitch, and then I have sewed under, as that's what the pattern also says, and then I started the color work, and look at those floats. They're quite pretty. So after knitting the body, then I split it for the front and back, and then I knitted them separately. It's quite nice for the color work, the form, like the pattern, because it's straight. There is no decreases, which makes it much easier to make a color work. And there is one thing that I'm not so crazy about. So like all the ends, when you knit in the flat, then it's gonna be quite a lot of work to secure them so they don't run. After I started to knit them flat, then I thought that actually maybe the good idea would be to knit it in the round with like some extra stitches in the sleeve and on the armhole, and then after knitting the round, then cut the opening of the sleeve, so there would be not so many ends to weave afterwards. And I actually asked Sharin about it. I asked her about the technique, if she knows any technique that would be good to avoid all those ends. And then she said like, yeah, the idea of the knitting the round and cutting is great, and I can try it if I want to. The problem was that I was actually halfway on the back of the sweater, and then I thought like, oh no, I'm not gonna rip it to make it flat. And I actually never tried to cut the knitwear, so well, I did, but it was like a surgery, not for the openings. Which, I mean, I would do it. I will have to do it one day, just for trying it. But I didn't do it for this one. But I made a trick. I don't know if it's like. If it's me finding out something new, or is it something you do? I'm not that common with the color work, so maybe that's like natural thing to do, but I'm gonna tell you now. So what I did, I took, just give me a second, I'm gonna get the yarn. Okay, I'm back. So I got the yarn. I was knitting with those. And what I did is that I when I was knitting flat, then I kind of measured the twice of the length that I would use for the sweater, for the flat part, like twice of it, and then just a bit more like this, and then I would cut it and find the middle like this. And then I was knitting, I was starting with this loop, so so the white one, which is like a background, I would have it as on the right side as always with the dominant color, and then I would start with this loop and I would knit with one of the strands and let this second one lay down, and then I would pick the second one strand after making the repeat. So because there is like this repeat of every is it 4th row, something like this. So I would wait with the second strand and then I would knit with the second strand, and I did it with all the colors. So in that way, instead of having like floats on both sides, so on the right and left, then I had only floats. I have only floats on the one of the sides. So on the back I have all the floats only here, and you can see here how it looks on that side. So that's where I was picking the color and then using the second strand. And on that side, on this other side, all the floats are here. So in that way I have half of the floats to weave, and that is nice. So I don't know if it's something normal to do. As I said, I'm not that experienced with color knitting, so it was just something I thought I'm gonna share with you. And then I picked some stitches from the neckline to make this beautiful part for the neck, and it's also folded with this pearl round. And then I sewed those parts on the shoulders, and then I picked the stitches from the for the sleeves, and it is a very well written pattern, I think. She is very good to write very clear what you have to do, so there is not like, you don't have to think too much. So it's pretty much just knitting with the color work. I think I also get smarter with I got much smarter with the color work on the sleeve, and that's something also about learning by doing, and not waiting till I'm gonna be totally perfect with it. So what I did on the back, I was like catching all the flows here, you can see, and then pulling them up. And then I found that it's not giving the best results. It's not giving the best result on the back, which I don't actually like, because I think it's gonna be visible. You can see like this line here. And then I think I pulled too much the stitches here. Like this part here. Like the color work stitches are disappearing. Yeah, and the last time I showed you, I was here. I put the stitch markers, I was here. And this is quite a lot of knitting. But then on the sleeve I got smarter. So I actually did the same as I discovered during the process of making the front and back. So I started to carry the floats differently. And I think that's the much better way. Also because I was afraid that those floats are gonna be too long, and I'm gonna like it's gonna be not nice to put it on. But I actually don't think so. It's just fine. So, and in that way, it's easier with all these colors put together. The strands are not blending that much, making the mess that I was complaining last time. So yes. So this is a test knit, and I actually unfortunately didn't make the deadline, and I think it's just me not having that much experience with colorwork, and I know, and it's like life happening. And so the pattern for this beautiful sweater is out now on her webpage, and if you feel like, and then I would say just go for it. It's beautiful, and don't make the same mistake as me. Now you have seen them, so believe me, not worth it. Just do as you do your colorwork. Yeah. Yeah. I really love the yarn, and I love the colors. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna finish the sweater, and I'm very sorry to say that because I really like the way it looks, but I think I made so many mistakes, and I really feel like I'm not gonna wear it because it's not me, it's my boyfriend. Because it's so visible, the things on the back, and I don't really know how to fix it. And actually, I think I made the size too small for him. So that would make it's not him who's gonna wear it, it's actually me. But like all in all, I think I'm gonna repurpose the yarn. And again, it's nothing about the pattern. The pattern is really, really great. I really love, she's so clear about making it, and it's very easy to follow, and the construction is very nice. But I have to face the truth that even if I'm gonna finish, because it's not a problem about the finishing it. It is a pleasure now. It just runs. So it's not the problem about that, but it's just a problem if I'm gonna make the sweater that I'm never gonna use because of the mistakes that I'm not gonna live with. So I would perhaps make it done. I will make it fully, and then I would have to rip it anyway, because I was thinking about maybe I could cut the floats on the back and stretch the stuff, so the color work will show up better at the back, but I'm afraid there is not like enough yarn there to do it. Then the float's gonna be so short that I'm not gonna weave them, so they're gonna they're just gonna run and make the holes, and it's a very bad feeling. And also because I know that it's not easy to make a patterns, and it's a hard job with all the test knitters, and yeah. And I was actually very much looking forward to this pattern, and I dyed all the yarn just for this pattern. But sometimes it's also like that you have to give up your battle. I hope I gave her all the best feedback about the pattern. There are always some small stuff that can be fixed, and that's also the purpose of the test knit. And I can just encourage you to, if you have a man that you would like to knit, because it's a man pattern, if you have a man that would love this sweater, and I think it's really beautiful, then go for it. Might happen that I'm gonna finish it and give to some smaller men than my men, maybe some teenager. But I don't know. I think also because my gauge changed after I was knitting. It's like I maybe got more comfy, or maybe I pulled too much in the back. That's maybe the problem. Yeah, but I actually really like the stuff the colorworks makes, because when you knit with the colorwork, there is like all the floats are making like extra stuff, and it's really like squishy and warm and nice. Oh, yeah. We will see. We will see. We shall see. So I was knitting on the 4.5 millimeter. I don't know if I said that, but that was that. And then I actually have one more finished object that I haven't showed you last time, and it was actually it was just an idea. I got it like 2 days ago. That because I'm just so in love with this color and and this plant, and I get so many compliments from the strangers on the street then that this color really fits like my skin and eyes and so on and so on. Then I thought that like I anyway opened this yarn, like those 2 balls, so I thought that maybe instead that it's gonna go for my like forever stash, then I'm gonna just knit something from it, and I did. So here it comes. So I made a headband, and actually don't know how to use it. Is it like this, or is it like this? No. I don't think it's like this. Okay. I'm normally using heads, but I just saw this one and I had to do it. I think it's like this. Okay. I know, I'm silly. So I used the same yarn, electric blue, Uniko yarns, and I used this time 1 strand of merino and 1 strand of silky mohair. And it is a pattern called Fletværk headband. And it is a Danish designer. Her name is Strik or Kaffe, which is knit and coffee. So cheers for that. And I was knitting the Danish pattern, but she also has an English pattern on her web page. I'm gonna, of course, put it in the description. So this is this headband with this beautiful Fletværk. So it's like this flattening, is it called that? Just in the middle. And I really love it. And it's a great scrappy project because you don't use that much yarn. And so I saw it on Instagram at _Hårgård, I think it's her Instagram. I'm gonna put it on the screen. It's Esther. She has a knitting podcast as well. It's in Danish. It's called Hold Masken, which is very, very, very nice podcast and funny story because I think it was 1 year ago when I started to have my Instagram with my yarn. I decided to make like a giveaway, like the first giveaway ever on Instagram. Then I made this beautiful pink yarn, and she won it. And then I found out she has this knitting podcast. I was quite new, especially to the Danish podcast. I was watching some English ones, but I actually didn't know that there are any Danish. So it was very cool when she wrote to me afterwards that this is so lovely and she's gonna show it on her podcast. And then she got this yarn, and then this winter she started to knit. She made the cowl, she made the cowl from Knitting for Olive. And then she decided that from the scraps of that project, she's gonna make the headband, and she made this one. And I thought it was such a lovely set, and that's where my idea started when that I would also like to have one. Also because now it's cold, but it's soon getting warmer, and it's still nice to keep your ears cozy. And then I thought it's gonna be very cool to have something matching my sweater. So I found this pattern that she used, and it's a very cool pattern because it's one pattern, but I actually don't know what's her name, but the girl from Strik or Kaffe, she is putting in different needle sizes and weight. So you can make it. I made it with the 1 strand of merino and 1 strand of silky mohair on the 4mm needle size. But you can also make it with just 1 strand of fingering wave, like just the merino, or you can make it with bulky. I think it's Aran and bulky. I think that she's making on 4 different gauges, sizes, and 4 different needle sizes. So I was thinking maybe I should make it exactly as this sweater, so with 2 strands of merino and 2 of silk mohair, and then on 7mm that would be 12 stitches per 10 centimeters. So I would have like totally matchy. But then I thought that maybe it's gonna be too warm. So I decided to go down and make it on deco wave, and I really loved. It's a super fast project. I started yesterday, I think, and then I was done. Today morning I made the last things. So you start it's like a tube. You can see here. Here. So it's a tube. And then you cast on and knit just a tube in a round, and I used 4mm, like the small round needles, which I'm actually gonna show you a bit later. And I made in the round, and then you split for 3, like those 3 different small tubes, and then you knit them, and then you flat them, and there is like this. She made the picture, so it's very easy to follow how to fold them together. So you get this one, and then after making those, after folding it, then you make a tube again and knit as long as the first part, and then sew it together. So it's like this. So yeah, I made it today. It's of course not blocked because I just sewed the ends today while I was eating my breakfast, and then I went to the shop and I had it on, and I really love it. It's so cozy. So I thought that I have still a bit of the yarn left, so I might make one more for my daughter, which I need to adjust, because if I remember it right, then the pattern is only 1 size. If I remember right, I might be wrong. Or I'm gonna make like those small gloves for the hands, like fingerless. So I'm gonna get a set. I don't know. We will see. But I'm super happy. So yeah. So that was finished object number 3. A very fast project. So also a great project if you would like to make some gifts. And now the work in progress and half finished object. So I was working on the socks for my boyfriend, and the first sock is done. Okay, just a second. Can you see like my comfort zone color? Oh my god, I'm blue. I'm so blue. Okay, so I made this sock. It's quite long and it's supposed to be to my boyfriend. I'm afraid I made a foot a bit too short, so I don't know. It might be sock to me. But I'm making it from the yarn, like the sock yarn from the grocery shop, which I bought a few years ago on the super sale, which I got like 10 balls of the yarn for some ridiculously low price. It's a sport wave, I would say, so it's a bit heavier. And I'm just making this one without any pattern. I started with a rib, as always, and then I'm variegating the blue yarn with the black yarn, and it's there. I'm making 5 rounds of blue and 11 rounds of black. So when I came to heel, then I started to make a heel when I was 5 rounds, and then I made a heel on the 6th round because I am making the boomerang heel, it's called. So it's like the one with the German short rows, where in the middle you are making a full round to avoid the holes. So I'm making the boomerang heel, and then, which is taking this middle round, the 6th round, and then I'm making another 5 rounds afterwards. I hope it gives meaning. But and then I needed the sock. And then I told you that I would like to try to make a bit more rounded toe. And there's actually one lovely viewer who said to me that if I have a Ravelry conto, then he would donate. It's she. I can actually check. Just give me 1 second. It's funny because sometimes pictures are confusing. Okay, it's Terry. Yes, Terry. Told me that would like to donate me a pattern, but if I open the Ravelry account, and I haven't still done it because life, and again, it's coming in the afterwards when I'm gonna talk about life. So I didn't do it, but I made the toe. So the toe looks like this. I think it's quite rounded. I think next time I like knit it up till there was like, I don't remember, 3 or 4 stitches, and then I put the end inside and like pull it, so that's why it's like this ridiculous little detour here. And I don't think I'm gonna do it in the second one. I think I'm gonna make the normal end with the kitchen stitch. But I think it's quite nice. The problem is that it was the socks for my boyfriend, and I actually measured them on him, and then I stopped making the foot and the way it normally would stop if I would make the pointy toes. But because I didn't make a pointy toes, and the short one, the round ones are shorter, so it's actually very small on his foot, but they're quite perfect on mine foot. So I think it might be that it's gonna be a sock for me, and I don't think he's gonna be happy because he really wants some socks. So I will have to make one more pair for him. And I started the second one. So that's where I am. And again, I am knitting it on 3 millimeters, I think. 3 millimeters needle size on this short Seeknit. And yeah, this is just this mindless knitting. So work in progress. Here it is. So that was my projects. I have still some work in progress that I did not touch at all because of those others that I had to finish on time. I'm actually looking forward to go back and finish them now. But I would like to show you some acquisitions. So today morning, after having my breakfast, I went to the shop because I had to pick the postage. I bought this one. This is a set from Seeknit, and yeah, I know I'm spoiling myself because, as you maybe noticed, I am in love with those short round needles, so I bought the set with those, and they're just so great. So I can have them on place and I can know what I have. So last time I showed you that I actually bought already one set, and it came with this box, like this, and it's made in carton, and the needles were like here and wires were here, but I was kind of afraid that in that way I'm gonna lose them very fast, and yeah, it's and then I wanted to have some other sizes because this set, it has sizes from 2.5, it has 2.5, 275, 3 and 325 millimeters, which is US size 1.5, 2, 2.5 and 3, which is great. I am mostly using 2.5 and 3, but what I didn't know is that it is coming also with the different wires, like with the 13 centimeters, or it's called cords, sorry, 13 centimeters, 20 centimeters and 30 centimeters, which is 5 inches, 8 inches and 12 inches, which is great because what I was trying to do on my other sweater, the one which is right now just waiting for the next week, that I was trying to make the sleeve on those short needles, which were like the not interchangeable, and it was just the cord was too short, so I couldn't do it. And then I found out that those are coming with the different length of the cord, and that is so amazing because then I can just knit with those needles I love and have them on the longer cord, so I can actually knit the sleeves on them. But I am pretty rarely knitting a sweater for myself on needles that are smaller than 4 millimeter size. So when I find out that Seeknit has this set, and I'm not sponsored, but they have this set, I wish I would be, because I really like to use them. But they have the set with the needle sizes, which is 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and 5 millimeters. So 4, 4.5, 5, those are the needles which I'm using quite a lot for sweaters, and they are coming with the wires also in different sizes, like different lengths. So they're still packed in. So that's gonna be super nice for some speedy sleeves. I am actually looking so much forward. And then and then they have some spaces here that were empty, and I just put all the needles from this set to this set. So now I can actually see all of them, and it comes with 2 spaces. So in the one space here, I am having my cords. Sorry for sounds. And in the second pocket, I'm having all those, which are my Seeknits, which I'm not interchangeable. So I'm having him here. And this is also, I can actually show you, because I have some wires from the other set that is actually open. Okay, sorry. So like this one is quite long. This one is short, but it's still longer. It's still longer than those, as you can see here. Still that longer. And this one is like that much longer. So I think that's gonna be super, super nice with like 4mm needles. This is just like perfect for making the sleeve. So yeah. So I think I'm I'm done with buying at least the small needles. I don't think I'm gonna buy like 6mm if they even have those, because I know I shouldn't say never, because I never know what's gonna happen with like what I decide. But it's really nice to have them all together, and I love this red color. Makes me super, 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 super happy. So that was that. That was acquisition that came today. And then I have another, which is not actually an acquisition, and it came, I think, yesterday. But it's actually Knit Along price. So Ellen from another Danish podcast called In Strikkepause that I mentioned last time. She's making project bags under the name under the name Dream Knit Bag, and she asked me if I would like to have some bags for the prices, and I said of course, because this is super nice, and if you take a part of the knit along, then you can win some yarn. As you know, it's gonna be Uniko yarns, my Headband yarn, and I think the colors we're gonna find out with the person who gonna be the one who win. I don't like to say it win, because it's not a competition anyway, but the person's gonna win the knit along. And there are cowls patterns from Inge from Knitting Traditions, and there is some patterns from Melanie from Melrose on Ravelry that she's making also beautiful colorworks, and you can also choose the pattern from her, and then you're gonna get a bag. And I would like to show you those, because now they're here. So there is this big bag, and I'm gonna show you the name. Like this, and it's quite big. I think it's for the sweater, and it has this beautiful inlining with some pockets. There are like 3 pockets here, and yeah, a drawstring, so you can close it like this, and a little handle. So you can win this one, or a second winner is gonna get this one, which is a bit smaller one with these crazy colors, and also inlining and a pocket. And it's also with the string. Oh. So and little handle. So those bags are handmade, of course, and they are made from the recycled stuff. So what Ellen does, she is taking the stuff that she can find and rescue them and make them to something nice and useful. And it is super great because as we know, the resources are scarce at world, and if you have something that we can make upcycle. So you take something which is not going to be used anymore, and then you make something very, very useful and beautiful. And yeah, that's what she does. So thumbs up, because more of it, more upcycling, and more fun, more of knittings. And she was so sweet, and she also said that there is one bag for me, and so I got this one. And it's so big, as you can see, because I have actually a sweater. I put the sweater inside, the Vega sweater, and I just want to show you some inlining. And there are some pockets where I keep my pen, because there is a colorwork, so I print it out, and then I'm just putting the line on the colorwork that I just knitted, and I'm having some of my knitting stuff. And she also gave me this one. The popcorn. This is so cool. So yeah, thank you, Ellen, and thank you, Inge, and thank you, Melanie. So now you know that's the prices for now for the colorwork. So if you would like to join and have a chance to get those prices, then just knit some colorwork and make a picture and put it on Instagram with the hashtag colorwork_Uniko_KL. And I'm gonna be super happy to send those prices to you when the time is ready. And we run this knit along to the end of July, I think we said. It was 6 months, yeah. So that is around that time. So I think that was that for the knitting part. And now I would like to talk a bit about life, because I've mentioned already a few times today on this episode that life happened, and life happened again, and then life happened again, and life happened again. And then if you don't care about it, or no, if you have enough of your life to take care of, then it's totally fine. And I hope to see you next time. If you care to stick around and hear about those crazy stuff that happened to me last period and why I couldn't record last week, then yeah, you are welcome to stay. So where to begin? So the first week after episode, it was just great. I was so happy to see that you participated in giveaway, and it was so great, and I was on fire with my knitting and knitting and doing also other stuff, but I was knitting this one and other stuff, and that was great. And I was even thinking like, oh, maybe I should make an episode after 1 week, because I made so much progress. But then life happened, and life is mean that Bornholm, which is in Denmark, as you might know, was under the snow. Like, it was so crazy, so crazy. So the last episode I told you that there was some snow, and I made you a footage to show you some snow, and it was beautiful. And I also complained that my daughter was so much looking forward to make a snowman, but the snow was already melting. There was not so much, and yeah, and then the snow is not happening that often to us here on Bornholm. And then magically after that it came a front and we were just under the snow. Like there was snowstorm after a snowstorm after a snowstorm. So it started that my boyfriend, he one night he was coming back home because he's building on our house that we're gonna move to. So he's sometimes coming back very late, and then he gets caught in the snowstorm. And that means that it's not that he drive wrongly, but on Bornholm they stopped to take a snow off the road at 6 o'clock in the evening, and then he was driving around 12 in the night, and I could already like feel in my stomach that something is wrong. And I actually called him and it's like, hey, by the way, remember that there's a snowstorm, so just drive, like, be careful. I mean, just take care. And then 1 hour after that, he calls me and say like, oh, I'm here in the middle of the snowstorm, and there is like this 2 meters of snow that it's in front of the car, and I can't move back or forth. So he was basically stuck, and there's around, I don't know, 5 kilometers back to where he was and 5 kilometers to us. So he was just in the middle, and I think it would take around 1 hour to walk from the like one of those places if it would be a normal weather. But because it was a snowstorm, it would perhaps take him like 2 hours, and he would get totally wet and perhaps sick. So it cost us some stress, and we were on the telephone trying to talk with the police to make it the right way, because I mean, leaving the car in the middle of the road is not the smartest. Yeah, but luckily he came back home with another car around 2 o'clock in the night or something like this, and then leaving our car in the middle of the road. After we talked with police, and it was okay. And then a few hours later, it's like 3 hours later, police called us and said like, oh, now they're starting to take snow from the road, so we need to go and pick our car so they can take the snow from the road. And when we came there, they clean the space around the car, but not like they couldn't come all the way to the car. Of course, obviously. And there was still a snowstorm. It was just like, so the snow was coming all the time. So we were there trying to get our car out of this place, and it was basically not possible. I think we used like half hour or something, and then it came help, and the guy that was taking snow from the road, he came, and now so we all together pushed the car, and I was sitting inside trying to to drive it, and then when we were like all together, then we pushed the car, and then the guy, he could drive with his huge car and take the snow, so we could get very fast after him and drive home. So we came back home at 6 in the morning, very tired, very cold and wet, and went to sleep. And then we wake up, there was like snow everywhere, like everywhere. I think I made some pictures, or I made some small clips, and I'm gonna post it to you. So this week was crazy. It was like we basically couldn't get out from the home because there was like just so much snow, and the roads were unsafe, and police said that if you don't have to, like if it's not an emergency, then you should just stay home, because they just cannot take snow from all the roads, also because the snow is coming all the time. So they said like all the unnecessary travels should be avoided. So we stayed at home for a few days. And I think the snowstorm was 4 days in a row. And the day after, then we decided that we need to take the snow away and try to get out, make some shopping, and yeah. I need to also send some yarn, and I was so happy that people that ordered yarn were cool with that, a bit longer of waiting time. So we take the snow from the place in the front of our house, which took us 5 hours, and it ended up with that I got like totally sick. And it was so rapid, so yeah. So I was taking snow, and like half an hour after I was completely sick and with no energy. And thank you to all of you that responded on Instagram when I wrote that it's so silent and there is no new episode of the podcast, because it's the day when I supposed to podcast, I was taking the snow from our in front of our house and getting totally sick. And thank you to all of you who wrote to me these sweet messages. It's so amazing that you take time to wish me good health. As you can see, I'm here back, and I'm better. I got some antibiotics, laying in my bed and sleeping for a few days, not doing anything at all. I couldn't even knit because my hand swelled from the medicine, so it was just basically sleeping. And yeah, but it's good. Now I'm back. I'm good again, and life is getting normal. And I dyed some more of the electric blue. I needed a headband, so my hands are back again. And of course, I decided that one of the first things I need to do is to make a podcast. Even I'm still a bit tired, let's say, because yeah, medicine is I'm not taking them that often. I'm not that often sick, or like that sick. So just taking it easy. So oh, and I forgot to say one very important thing about it. So, and everything is blending a bit together because I was so much on drag, but the day where I got really sick, I was alone at home. I need to we have like this what's called, we don't have a central heat, we have to heat at home, and then we put some fire, and I totally destroyed this fireplace because I'm not responding good to drags, I'm just falling asleep, and I couldn't keep an eye on it. And I'm so glad that I haven't it was only that it happened. But when I went to the fireplace, there was like the smoke everywhere, and I was so scared. But nothing happened other than I totally broke our fireplace, which was not very fun when it's like minus 11 degrees Celsius outside and a very bad isolated house. And you are sick, then yeah. So what happened is that our friends were going, because in Denmark right now we have had, like till today, we had the winter break from school, and our friends were going away to their family, and because I mean you can still travel, like not everything is closed, but you can still go to your family. But so they left us their home. So we moved to their place and then stayed there for some days until someone came and repair our fireplace so we can get warm here. So yeah, Crazy stuff. I can't recommend it. It's not funny. It's not funny to get so much snow and then sick and then destroy fireplace and ew. So, hey. But I'm looking forward to Monday. Then it's gonna be normal again, I hope. And I'm looking forward to knit some nice knitwear, and then I'm gonna looking forward to write some pattern, and then to dye some yarn and do some sustainable projects. I'm looking forward to all that because I feel like it was a long break. But yeah, so that was crazy stuff. And I think that was all for this today. I'm gonna try to put some footage of this snow craziness till the time that I got sick. So, and I was not moving out from my bed. And then I'm gonna post some footage of your pictures from Instagram with your colorworks. And I hope you stay safe. I hope you stay happy and healthy. And I am looking forward to see you next time, which is perhaps should be in around 2 weeks. But thank you for this time and have fun. Bye.